Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum. Welcome to part 3 of our series, 5-part series on Job, chapter 39. In this video, we're going to look at the ostrich. Okay, so the ostrich portion begins in verse 13, and it reads here, "The peacock has a beautiful wing, versus gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks." So we have a fact versus a rhetorical question, and the next portion is very cryptic if you don't do your research. So in the Septuagint, it's also cryptic. It says, "If the stork and the ostrich conceive, it is worthy of notice." The Masoretic says, "Or wings and feathers unto the ostrich," referring back to the peacocks, but the footnote gives us a better, frames it in a better way to understand it. So the appendix note in the hard copy of the Brenton Septuagint reads as follows: "The peacock's wing is proudly spread. Is the ostrich also? If it conceive," so let's just get rid of the first line because it's a little too verbose. "Is the ostrich also, if it conceive, like the stork? For," so what is it trying to say? In other words, if the stork and the ostrich conceive, it is worthy of notice, for the ostrich will leave her eggs in the ground and warm them on the dust, and has forgotten that the foot will scatter them, and the wild beasts of the field trample them. Versus, "Or wings and feathers to the ostrich," okay, so on and so forth. So let's look at a video clip of, does this happen where ostriches just drop their eggs on the ground? So I was looking for a video where an ostrich drops their egg on the ground and almost steps on it, and this is the closest I could get to that. So we can see clearly the ostrich has laid her egg on the ground, and it's there to be stepped on. And you'll actually see the ostrich take a step back right there. Just a subtle little move backwards. Even abandoning their egg to the point that this family takes this egg and hatches it and then raises their ostrich as a pet. So yeah, it does happen where ostriches will do this. Okay. And it says that she has hardened herself against her young ones, and as though she bereaved not herself, she labors in vain without fear. And the footnote reads, hardened, which means cruelly rejected her young ones. And you can see right here, I wouldn't say it was cruel, but some people would agree that it is cruel sometimes. They just leave their young on the ground, but that's the way that they lay their eggs and tend to neglect them, not like the stork. So it also reads, let's go back to our Job here. Okay, so this is Job verse 18. "In her season," versus what time, "she will lift herself on high, she will scorn the horse and his rider." And the point of that opening video was to show that, cyclists and horses are similar speed, and the ostrich can practically keep up with the cyclist. Meaning, ostriches are about as fast as a horse. And here's some more information on ostriches. You may not know this, and I didn't. The fact that only a small percentage of ostriches survive, yet the species has thrived for thousands of years, proves that the ostrich survives today solely by the providence of Elohim, not by its own good sense. As you can see, it just drops its eggs on the ground. It's open season for predators or any large animal to trample on it and destroy their eggs. So in Hebrew, the word for stork, going back to this this verse, talking about verses 13 to 16, talking about the stork and the ostrich. So basically it was saying, the peacock's wing is proudly spread as the ostrich also, if it conceive like the stork. So that's the question. What does this even mean? So what it means is, let's get to the Hebrew first. The Hebrew for the word for stork, the Hebrew word for stork is chasida. Chasida literally means kindness or affection. And the stork was famous in the ancient world for its intense parental care for their young, building massive, safe nests, never leaving its young. Complete opposite of the ostrich. While the stork conceives with a plan to protect their young, the ostrich leaves its eggs in the dust for any feet to crush. And I've seen videos where people are trying to step on the ostrich eggs and testing their durability. But the fact is, if it's out in the Middle East, in the deserts, and you have camels, you've got large animals, bulls, I don't know, whatever else, maybe even, horse and carriage or some chariots, it won't stand to that kind of weight. So is the ostrich like the stork? The answer is no. The answer is no. Going back to verse 13 to 16. And the footnote, if it conceive, the ostrich, is it like the stork? The answer is no. So that is the contrast that Elohim was trying to bring to light in this chapter of Job. But it's completely lost if you don't, number one, don't have the Septuagint, and number two, you don't have these footnotes. So I'm very grateful for this footnote and the appendix that clearly explains what these word pictures are trying to describe. Just some fun facts about ostriches. I want to close this video with some fun facts. So heavyweight boxers, they clock in with a punching power of around 1200 to 1700 psi, which is roughly 10 times stronger than the average person. Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion, was renowned for his ferocious knockout power, and he recorded a punching PSI of 1800. About the ostrich. An ostrich can deliver a forward thrusting kick with a force of roughly 2000 PSI. So, for context, that is roughly twice the power of an elite boxer's punch. So that's all for this video. Hope it was helpful for you. Thank you very much for your time. Till next time, we'll look at part 4, which will be the horse video. Until that time, I bid you all shalom aleichem, assalamu alaikum, irini mazisu, pax vobiscum, peace be unto you, and maranatha.